Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television. Welcome to the news bulletin in English. We'll begin with the headlines. The First Lady, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, pointed out that Rwandans shouldn't give space to bad habits such as nepotism, corruption, greed, favoritism, and more. A 41-year-old man in Burera district of the Northern Province is studying in secondary school with his son after he decided to resume his studies. My name is Olive Nete. Happy Sunday. It's a pleasure to have your company tonight. Now to the news in details. The First Lady, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, pointed out that Rwandans shouldn't give space to bad habits such as nepotism, corruption, greed, favoritism, and more. She reiterated on this during the 16th Forum of the Intwara Rumuri, which convened on Sunday. Ndi Umunyarwanda, the fundamental principle of our existence, is the theme of the 16th Forum of the Unity Club in Intwara Rumuri that they focused on in their fourth retreat. Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, who is the founder of the organization, told the participants that it is almost 30 years since Rwandans chose unity and resilience after achieving it at the cost of unconditional sacrifice. Understanding the value of this sentence requires to go back and think what has been done in almost 30 years ago since the liberation of Rwanda, and what was achieved through the journey of unity and resilience of Rwandans should make us happy. We chose to be one. We chose to be a Rwanda that does not discriminate, a Rwanda of united people that loves their country and that strives for its development and protect it. Dear members and invitees, the fact that Rwandans did not stay in the darkness, it is something that was fought for and was achieved at the cost of unconditional sacrifice. It should be a life lesson and also be the foundation of our unity, the unity of Rwandans. The Reconciliation Barometer conducted in 2020 showed that among the people interviewed, 98.5% of them affirmed that the Ndi Umunyarwanda program plays a crucial role in building the unity of Rwandans. 88% of them believe that they play an active role in its discussions. The survey confirmed that the average rate of unity and reconciliation is increasing because in 2015 it was 92.5% and in 2020 it reached 94.7%, which means that in those 5 years, the rate of unity and reconciliation increased by 2.2%. According to Dr. Bizimana Jean Damascene, the Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, education and health are among the pillars that have come at the forefront in promoting unity and reconciliation. The First Lady, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, pointed out that Rwandans should not give space to bad habits such as nepotism, corruption, favoritism, and more. Intwara Rumuri, leaders in various sectors and parents, we have a great responsibility which we can carry out. A responsibility of giving our children a heritage of virtues that embodies unity. We should not be characterized by bad habits such as favoritism, bribes, nepotism, and more that can lead us to neglect our fundamental principle of Ndi Umunyarwanda. If we do not be vigilant, we may go back to the darkness that we once passed through. Dear youth, you are the country's strength that will preserve the foundation that we built. How are you prepared to take over this responsibility of protectors of the Ndi Umunyarwanda program? We urge you to love the country and be characterized by discipline. Be exemplary with good behaviors, which will help you to have a good vision so as to achieve sustainable development. The statistics of the Supreme Court show that from 2015 to 2022, there were 5,039 cases on crimes of genocide ideology and crimes of discrimination and divisions. In the 2021-2022 fiscal year, in the 316 cases that were resolved, 256 of them, which is equivalent to 81%, were those that convicted and prosecuted for these crimes. Still speaking of the Forum of Unity Club in Intwara Rumuri, young people were urged to strive to be resilient and fight against the ideology of the genocide that continues to be spread through various social media platforms. Follow the details. The theme of the dialogue provided to young people during the 16th Forum of Unity Club in Rwanda focused on explaining the importance of the Rwanda program, which aims at preserving and protecting the unity of Rwandans. About the program of resilience among Rwandans, young people were reminded that the Rwanda program is the pillar in building and preserving the unity of Rwandans. The director of the Rwanda community abroad at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Sandrine Maziateke, pointed out that there are still some young people who do not value the benefits of being a Rwandan.
Hari urubyiruko narwo rufite ikibazo cy'ihungabana amateka twanyuzemo.
There are some young people who still have trauma from the history that we passed through, that do not understand the Rwanda program, and they do not also engage in its programs. Some of them do not even feel as if they are Rwandans. We have them here in Rwanda. They also don't want to speak Kinyarwanda. Instead, they use other foreign languages. All those young people who always have in mind the green card. Their dream is always to go abroad. And there's also the fourth category, which has a big number of young people. They chose to believe that through the Rwanda program, they can get healed from the wounds of the history that we passed through. That is why I urge fellow young people to keep choosing to know more about our country so that together we can keep building our country. The RRG coordinator, Odas Mudahemuka, notes that despite progress made in the resilience program, some young people, particularly those born after the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi, still have the ideology of genocide that they get from their families. Andi Umuntu, a Rwandan artist, stated that divisions shouldn't define Rwandan youth. Bishop Servilian Zakamyita, on the other hand, underlined that in accordance with their preferences, the youth ought to be taught the values that characterizes Rwandans. During the 16th Forum of the Unity Club in Rwanda, young ones were encouraged to use social media platforms to fight against those who use it to spread the ideology of genocide. We should indeed strive to preserve what was achieved. Now to other matters, a 41-year-old man in Murera district of the Northern Province is studying in secondary school with his son after he decided to resume his studies. Gildas Nitegeka is married with 6 children in total and decided to return to school at the beginning of this year after dropping out in 1998. He's now in his second year of secondary school. He made a decision to go back to school after realizing that others his age had made much better progress in life thanks to their education, and was determined to complete his despite being discouraged greatly not to do it. Starting in the first year of secondary school with his son, however, greatly affected the boy, resulting in his failing his studies. Now the two revised their studies together, determined that they will both do well. Gildas is a model student with teachers heaping praises on his performance. His wife supports his efforts, recognized that they will help to transform the welfare of the entire family. He's therefore urging others that did not get a proper education not to be discouraged by their age, noting that the benefits of such an opportunity far outweigh any difficulties they may face by deciding to go back to school, irrespective of how old they are. Now moving ahead, 700 mathematics and science teachers from secondary schools in 14 districts have been granted ICDL certification. The certificates attest to the fact that they are competent in the use of computer applications following extended training at the African Institute for Mathematical Science here in Kigali. Follow the details.
Those who successfully completed the training recognize the significance of their achievement.
Online collaboration
For example, the subject called ICT Online Collaboration, Online Essentials and Presentations, taught us how to use PowerPoint and projectors while teaching. Unlike before when we used just oral methods for our students, now we will be able to show them what we are saying. The training is to continue, eventually reaching teachers in all districts of the country.
We have a network of leaders we are working with in different districts, also for the monitoring and evaluation. So there is a continuous follow-up of the activities that the teachers are doing, and we have also trained people in the education sector in monitoring and evaluation activities. So, and follow-up is very important, and also, the possibility of having a continuing training. But we are ready to expand. We are ready to work with the other districts, with the other stakeholders. I mean, with the support of Rwanda government through the Rwanda Basic Education Board and with the MasterCard Foundation. From our side, we are ready, and it's really will be very happy to keep working and to extend our work in the 16 districts so that we can reach out all the country with the 30 districts of the country.
The 700 teachers make up the sixth group to complete the training, joining another 3,300 from 14 districts in Rwanda's rural areas that had previously completed it as well.
Thank you, Serge, for the details. Now to other matters. The general public is being urged to continue to be careful about the quality of meat it consumes. The owners of slaughterhouse in the northern province say they have out a lot of effort in ensuring that their establishments meet all required standards to operate, but are incurring losses because of animals that are slaughtered and unauthorized location. Indeed, slaughterhouses in the province that meet required standards have continued to be underutilized, such as one in Gakenke district that was completed at a cost of $500 million Rwandan francs and has the capacity to receive more than 100 cows a day, yet only 15 are processed there daily at the most. Local officials in the northern province have decided to implement measures to ensure that only authorized slaughterhouses operate due to the health risk posed to consumers when safety standards are not met. Regulations require that small slaughterhouses be located at least 100 meters from residential areas, with the distance increasing as the size of the slaughterhouse increases, with major meat processing plants supposed to be at least 500 meters away from people's homes. To other matters, members of the cooperative Imbereheza Mngaro that brings together rice farmers in 3 sectors of Huye district of the southern province have called for the disputes and mismanagement in their cooperative to cease following the suspension of its governing committee after suspicion arose that more than 10 million Rwandan francs had been embezzled. The cooperative has also struggled with losses attributed to bad deals made in recent years with a number of entrepreneurs. As a result, the Rwanda Cooperatives Agency decided to suspend its leadership during this month of October, prompting an investigation into where 10 million Rwandan francs went. Imbereheza Mngaro was formed in 2015 and has 331 members. Now in Rusizi, residents in Rusizi district of the Western Province are noting that credit and savings schemes have been helping them to transform their lives. The observations were made as week-long countrywide activities aimed at sensitizing people on the importance of saving their money, organized by the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda, were concluded on Saturday. The activities that included building homes for the neediest in society, as well as providing them with health insurance, were valued at more than 45 million Rwandan francs. Over the past decade, during which ADEPR has been sensitizing people to adopt the culture of saving their money, more than 600 credit and saving groups have been created in Rusizi district. The initiative has been commended by district officials, and across the country, the drive has resulted in more than 7,000 credit and savings schemes, putting aside some 1.6 billion Rwandan francs. On behalf of the entire news production team and the technical team that helped us to prepare this for you, thank you for being with us. See you next.